Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and welcome to the New Card Report. The upcoming set in the OCG, Terminal World, has had its first waves of new cards revealed, and we start with a look at the new Infernoid cards. Meta-relevant briefly or so in 2017, and existing ever since, if there's a dual Terminal Lord deck that has a shot at becoming relevant again to the metagame, Infernoid's one of them. So let's go ahead and get looking at those new cards. It's the New Card Report. Mom Gaming. Up first is the new Infernoid Evil, the exact type of subtle naming conventions that I expect from Konami and that I truly respect. This level 1 fire-themed fusion has 1100 attack and defense, and the materials to summon it are any 2 Infernoid monsters. On fusion summon, it'll let you banish an Infernoid monster from your graveyard, and then you can send Infernoid monsters with different names from your deck to the graveyard equal to the level of the banished Infernoid. Holy fuck. And if it's sent to the grave or banished, you can add a Void Spell or Trap card from your deck to your hand. What the fuck? That's just insane, right? You just summon it, banish and mill some number of Infernoids, link it off and get a search, and then on another turn you banish it to summon another Infernoid and you get another search? Okay, and it's a level 1. Solid links like Anima or Lingaribo, or Linkaribo I guess actually, because Linger requires Cybers. Easy to summon link monsters that are decent to good, not to mention just any link monster, because link summoning's kind of Bruck like that. Now, to be clear, the best possible case to mill is 11 with Infernoid Tiara here, but that will involve you sending 11 Infernoid monsters from deck to grave with different names. As I understand it, you send equal to, not up to. So if you banish an 8 and you don't have 8 names, you're an idiot. Or I guess technically that's not even legal to do. I'll have to look into that. But either way, you gotta send equal to. But Tiara's still technically a legal target because there are 11 main deck Infernoid monsters. There's actually another level 1 that's not Decatron. Crazy, I know. That won't happen often, but that's still 1 to 10 to possibly 11 milled off of one summon. Okay, sure. Why are we letting that be a thing? Even milling like 5 is crazy, although that does require playing the level 5 Infernoid, which is in and of itself crazy. Although I guess maybe not after this. We'll find out. This card seems designed to make the deck as meta viable as it can be, and there's still 3 more new cards to go, so I haven't even talked about the Snake Eye or Diabellstar synergies and how those decks incorporate, you know, the level 1 fire that this now is. There's things, I don't know, Decatron. Jesus Christ, all of this is really just blowing my mind, and I will be going into Psychosis shortly enough, more than anything, so let's just move on to the new card before that happens. Infernoid Flood is a new Link 4 for the deck, with 3000 attack and those authentic Appaloosa type arrows, or maybe Skull Dread, you tell me. It only requires 2 or more monsters to summon, including an Infernoid, which means that it's easy as shit to get out. And if the opponent would special summon a monster or monsters, you contribute a monster to negate that summon and banish those monsters. Cool. It also banishes a card on the field if a card is banished from the graveyard, which, you know, is the Infernoid summoning condition, so that's cool. And lastly, if it's destroyed by your opponent while under your control, while it was link summoned, it'll float into any Infernoid from the deck, ignoring the summoning conditions. Praise Xenu, each of these effects is a hard once per turn. Feels pretty strong to me. Being a link, it means it of course helps Infernoid to play around the level restrictions the deck has, and it upgrades the standard Noid DD Crow effect into a summon negate. Plus, disrupting boards by just banishing an Infernoid, because you banish them to summon them, so you're going to be banishing a lot of things while this is on the field, I'd imagine. And it only needs 2 materials, so very, very simple and very effective, I would think. Both of these monsters feel incredibly pushed, for lack of a better term, and I'm normally trying to be like witty or funny or something here, so I don't know, like gentrified Tiara? Get it? It's white now. Please laugh. These 2 are some good cards. Infernoid players are eating good with these 2 alone, and they don't even need multiple reasoning or multiple copies of Grass to be doing so, which I never thought I'd see that day, but hey, here we are. Up next is Void Blaze Up, and that I can get into. This endorsement of a good-ass time and new continuous spell will let you reveal an Infernoid monster or Void spell or trap in your hand to let you discard your entire hand and then draw the same number of cards. Void card destruction, but for you. A self-inflicted card destruction, but I mean, you want things in the grave. So the other effect is once per duel, so you know that it's certified. While you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are fiend while this card is in your graveyard, except for the turn it was sent there, you can banish it from the grave to return up to 11 banished Infernoid monsters with different names to your graveyard. Hot damn, yeah, that's a solid use of a once per duel clause, I would think. Just all your summon fodder back and able to be summoned out themselves, minus Decatron, so. I didn't see a once per turn on the first effect, so if that's correct, then you can hypothetically cycle your entire deck on yourself, and even if it gets ashed, right? Like, it's not once per turn, you just keep doing it, which seems interesting to include, but I don't design the cards, I just read them. So, yeah, I feel like it's a one of. I think the argument's been made that maybe this isn't the best thing in the world when you consider that if Infernoid's got 11 banished Infernoids, it's probably in a winning position, and returning them isn't going to make them win more. The issue that the deck had more was getting to the point of having 11 Infernoids than recovering past having 11 banished Infernoids. I'm not an Infernoid player. You can tell me. If nothing else, it seems like a decent one of. It seems like a decent Foolish Burial Goods type card, maybe. I don't know. Tierra is bowing down, so we can look forward to a 38-minute lore video while we wait and watch Infernoid players' turns with this new support is the real takeaway that we can get from this. So, small victories, am I right, gamers? If you can hear the woodpecker going on outside, whoops, and if you can't, just know I am really going insane. Up last, we've got Infernoid Void Barrier. Without Infernoid in the name, its just name is Void Barrier. Another continuous spell with some dope blue art, which is cool, or maybe I just like the color blue too much. This card will give all your Infernoid monsters 100 attack for each banished Infernoid you have, and if you've got no monsters on your field or only fiend monsters, will let you activate one of two effects. Either add a banished Infernoid monster back to your hand, or summon an Infernoid from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. It's more recovery, it's some swarming potential, and a deck with very easy, potential to OTK. And it uselessly modifies the attack to allow for the classic Yu-Gi-Oh discussion of, oh wait, take 600 more. Oh, why? Barrier effect, it gives 100 attack for each Infernoid. Right. I love that shit, dude. That's half a dueling for me. Tell me that's not the quintessential Yu-Gi-Oh experience right there. It's nothing insane, but it's nothing terrible either. And if that's the worst card that they've got, alongside their endless card destruction, I'd tell you that's a pretty solid wave of support. So yeah, all in all, pretty damn good. Unprecedented, really. Each of these makes for a fine addition to the collection of cards Infernoid players call decks, with the monsters in particular really adding some punch to it. Who the fuck okayed Foolish Burial for potentially 11? Probably more likely going to be like 4 or something, but Foolish 4 is still crazy good, alright? People have been waiting for Snake Rain to be good forever real. Infernoids were already decent. Giving them Foolish 4 is pretty damn good. I'm not sure that that's going to be the commonplace for every piece of support this deck gets in the future, but hey, that's crazy. It is interesting to see them pushing to play all the different named Infernoids, which typically isn't done because that other level 1 is forgettable for a reason, but Infernoid players were already willing to put in the level 6 to play that one trap card that let them get 2 Decatron out. I think they'd be willing to concede on maybe the level 5 or something if it means milling 5. Great job by Konami though. Talk about making good card support, and hey, at least this isn't support that's just anime girls or dragons, so it doesn't pander to the abundance problem that Yu-Gi-Oh already has in that regard. Yeah, that's right, I'm finding nitpicks to cope with these cards because they're really fucking solid, and I don't particularly look forward to facing them. I don't think they're gonna be crazy, I'm just not looking forward to it, alright? Shit pissed off Jeff Jones, surely I'm allowed to be a bit peeved too. No? Well, that sucks for me then. But you know what doesn't suck? This week's sponsor. That's right, thanks as always go to the LIFD Magnetic Display, the sponsor of the channel to date and the true Duelist approved way to show off all your favorite cards. If you want to get 15% off one of these bad boys, throw up your cards, throw that Ulti Tiara you pulled in Clash, and you've just been waiting for it to be good, and then you crack it open like a defibrillator case, and you're like, I'm bringing it back to life, baby. You can do that. 15% off using promo code YGOSTRATS, and thanks as always to LIFD for the sponsorship and to you for watching. So that'll wrap it up for this new card report, just covering some of the new cards. We've got Ice Barriers 2 getting support. We'll be covering those in the next one. I think that'll be out on Tuesday, because I already tanked one video's watch views by releasing 2 videos in one day, and I don't have faith in the algorithm to let me do that. So Tuesday will be the Ice Barriers. If that feels slow to you, that's because Ice Barriers are slow. Zinger! Thank you for watching again. Make sure you subscribe and you'll be impressing that smoking Italian wife. And not only that, but you'll be a true duelist. Funko Pops, better get the news going, am I right, gamers? There's a new fucking Funko Pop coming out.